My name is Nicole Montgomery and I am the president of this alliance. This is a conference by Guillaume Serina about French and American intercultural differences. And I think this is something quite important. I mean, I wish I had had a conference like that when I arrived to this country many years ago.
Bonjour, je suis Guillaume Serina, j'habite à Los Angeles depuis 3 ans et je suis ici le correspondant du journal Le Parisien et du magazine Le Point. Et j'ai fondé une agence de presse qui s'appelle France Média, qui édite également un magazine en ligne, le benfranklinpost.com. J'ai eu la chance de couvrir la campagne présidentielle 2008 entre Barack Obama et John McCain et avant cela les primaires. Et j'en ai fait un livre, Barack Obama, le premier président noir des États-Unis, aux éditions de l'Archipel, qui est le récit de 2 ans de campagne de Barack Obama. J'ai eu la chance de pouvoir le suivre depuis le tout début de sa campagne. Et c'est donc un livre qui retrace sa carrière et cette campagne jusqu'à la victoire. Il y a une espèce de fascination et répulsion de la part des Français vis-à-vis de l'Amérique. Donc je peux couvrir des choses comme Hollywood et tout ce qui se passe dans l'industrie du divertissement, mais aussi les problèmes économiques, surtout en ce moment, ou les grandes questions de société. Et pour cela, la Californie est assez en pointe et il s'y passe des choses très intéressantes. Je fais une première conférence sur les différences culturelles entre Français et Américains, entre la France et les États-Unis. Et ce soir, on va se concentrer particulièrement sur les relations humaines. Donc les différences culturelles au sein du couple, dans l'amitié ou tout simplement dans la vie de tous les jours. What I call the dating system, because to me it looks like a system and it's very weird for a lot of French people. And I have a French friend here, a woman who's in her 30s, who's been living in Los Angeles since about 6 or 7 years, and she just can't find anyone. She can't find her soulmate, and obviously she's been searching more in the American side of the man. Her first, let's say, foundation is to say, okay, nowadays it's very hard to find your soulmate in any huge city, whether it's Paris, New York, or LA. But then she says there's something quite specific about Los Angeles. She mentioned the money problem, that a lot of people are quite obsessed with that and are very career-oriented, at least in their 30s, whether they are women or men. So for her, she says that American men have a very hard time to commit in a relationship. Then she started to explain me this dating thing. And she told me that you can go to date number 4, 5, 6, and she just met a guy. She went into date number 7, and the guy said goodbye to her after date number 7. And she was really upset about it and actually quite confused. Then she got all upset and started to talk about sex. Basically, she doesn't know what the man is really expecting from her, especially on the first date or second date. And she says, well, it looks like they all dream to have sex with you even on the first date, but if you do, then they consider you as an easy girl. So it's really difficult, according to her, to give or to show a face that doesn't put her into trouble on the first couple of dates. Then I had another anecdote about the dating system from a girl in Boston. She was working in a law firm, and she goes out, she likes a guy, an American guy, who traveled a lot in Europe, who is obviously very interested and open-minded. And so they have a first date, they go for a drink, then they have the second date and they go for a dinner, and it looks like that's on the second date that they kissed, and it gets a little more intimate. And the next week, this girl meets the same guy in a restaurant with another girl and holding his hand. So that's where she starts to go crazy. So she says she really shouted very loud in the restaurant saying, "Come on, I thought you were my boyfriend." And the guy said, "You know, I never said that. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. I never said we were steady." That's the quote. So again, that's something very different for us Europeans. We don't have these open relationships. And when I talk to some friends of mine living here, American people here, it looks like they have a very good distance on this thing, and that indeed they agree it's a kind of weird thing or a kind of problem. Anyway, even without going there and interpreting that, they told me that indeed both women and men have a kind of list of criteria, at least at a certain age, when you date. Does the guy have a job or not? How much money does he make? Is she pretty? How much money does she make? Will she be a good mother and a good wife? Will he be a good father and a good husband? So even these American friends who are about my age, in their mid-30s, were saying that there's actually not a lot of room for spontaneity and or some even emotional showings.